Hi, this is Tyler Berkey with Group 76, CS6310, Spring Semester 2022. In this video, I'll be going over our Authentication and Authorization architectural implementation for Assignment 5 in the drone application. Our group decided to create a RESTful API as part of another architectural design implementation, and with that, we decided to use the Spring Framework's security module to implement the authentication and authorization piece. You'll see here on all of our routes for the API, we have a pre-authorize annotation, and that will call a has any authority method with an authentication point, a security point. And what we have are users in the database that have different roles, and those roles will then map to the security points or the functions that that particular user is able to perform within the system. Those are defined in our roles file. So you'll see here an employee has the ability to make stores, get stores, sell items, etc. A pilot only has the privilege to fly drones, and a customer has things related to that customer, like get items, make customers, start order, that sort of thing. So what will happen is, as a user makes a request, they will pass a basic authentication header with their HTTP request. And based on that, let's take a look at our authentication provider here. As we hit a route in the API, Spring Security will try to authenticate that request by passing in the username and the credentials or the password for that particular user. We'll then hash that password, try to get that user out of the database, ensuring that the password is correct for that username. Take a look at the roles that that user has, and then add all the security points for that user. Now, if we find that that user does not have the security point required by this route, we will deny access to that particular function for that user and return an error status code. If, however, the user does have that security point, the program will continue to execute as normal, and they will receive a valid response, assuming nothing else happens that would, in the actual execution of that method, that would return an error response. So to demonstrate this, I have created a few requests in Postman, and I've already set some of this up to be able to better demonstrate exactly what I'm trying to show here. So in here I have my authorization section. You'll see we're using just basic authentication. And I've got a user with username Gerald.gibberish and their very secure password. This is my pilot password. You'll see here that I'm hitting this endpoint. So I'm trying to fly a particular drone, and this user is set up as a pilot. And if I go back to my roles briefly, you'll see that the pilot role has the fly drone security point. And if I come back in here and I look at that same route that I'm just about to hit, you'll see that that requires the fly drone security point. So if I run this, you'll see that I do get a 200 OK status code, which means that I was able to fly this particular drone, sending the basic auth as this user. Now, if I use that same user and try to do anything else. For example, here, all I'm going to do is try to get a list of stores, and I send that off. You'll see I receive a 403 status code of forbidden. If we go back to our code here, and I look at the get stores method right here, you'll see that I would require the authority get stores, which the pilot user does not have. And so they are returned a 403 status code. If I attempt to contact the API with a user that does not exist or a password that is incorrect, throw an S on there at the end, you'll see that I am returned a 401 unauthorized status code, letting me know that I am not authorized to be looking at this at all.